Checker, what we see with him time and time again, you think he's on the ropes and then he bounces back, and he's a tough racer, he's a tough character. And
The renewal of Sergio Perez's contract with Red Bull has brought a series of expectations and uncertainties. The Milton Keynes team is in a dominant position, but the consistency and performance of its drivers are crucial to maintaining this advantage. However, this is not what has been happening. Internal pressures and comparisons with his teammate Max Verstappen are making life difficult for Perez, who has been without points in the championship for quite some time. Sergio Perez started the 2024 season impressively. His early performances helped Red Bull secure 3 consecutive 1-2 finishes in the Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Japan GPs. These victories not only reinforced the team's dominance, but also showed that Perez could be a reliable partner for Max Verstappen in the Constructors' Championship fight. However, the story has drastically changed in recent races. Perez has faced significant difficulties and failed to qualify in the top 10 in the last 3 events, including the Canadian GP. This decline in performance is worrying, especially considering he was on an upward trajectory at the start of the season. Perez's recent failures have not gone unnoticed. His inability to maintain the necessary consistency has raised questions about his ability to compete at the highest level continuously. Inconsistency is one of the greatest enemies of any Formula One driver, and Perez urgently needs to find a solution to return to the rhythm of the early races. This performance drop affects not only Perez individually, but also puts Red Bull in a vulnerable position. The team needs both drivers scoring consistently to maintain their lead in the Constructors' Championship. With Verstappen carrying most of the weight, the pressure on Perez only increases. On the other hand, ups and downs are common in Formula One, and many factors can influence a driver's performance at different stages. Technical issues, race strategies, and even weather conditions can play a role. Therefore, while Perez's recent difficulties are concerning, he still has time to recover and show that he can be a vital component for the team. Within Red Bull, the pressure on Sergio Perez is palpable. Team principal Christian Horner has been direct, stating that Perez needs to forget Canada 2024 and recover quickly at the Spanish GP. For a team that constantly strives for perfection, the need for both drivers to score well is vital for their Constructors' Championship ambitions. The pressure on Perez is even greater considering he hasn't made it to the podium in 4 consecutive races. The internal expectations are clear. Perez must return to the performance shown at the start of the season. Red Bull cannot afford to rely solely on Max Verstappen to secure crucial points. Perez needs to be a strong and consistent competitor to ease the load on Verstappen and ensure the team continues to dominate both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. Besides performance expectations, Perez faces significant mental pressure. Knowing that his future with the team depends on his performances can be a heavy burden. The structure of Perez's contract, with an optional second year, adds an extra layer of uncertainty. He needs to prove that he deserves to be with Red Bull not only because of his talent, but also because of his ability to deliver consistent results under pressure. The upcoming GPs will be crucial for Perez. He needs to show resilience and the ability to adapt quickly. The pressure is intense, but it is in these moments that great drivers stand out. Perez has the talent, but he needs to turn this pressure into fuel to drive his performances and secure his position in the team. Comparing Perez's performance with that of Max Verstappen is inevitable within Red Bull. Verstappen, the championship leader, has shown impressive consistency and speed. This constant comparison creates additional pressure for Perez, who needs not only to keep up with Verstappen's pace, but also to secure crucial points for the team in the Constructors' Championship. The performance disparity between the two drivers has been evident. While Verstappen frequently positions himself on the front rows and competes for victories, Perez has struggled to reach the same level of competitiveness. This difference not only affects Perez's confidence, but also puts the team in a delicate situation, relying almost exclusively on Verstappen for the most important results. However, it's important to remember that each driver has their own style and way of adapting to the car. Verstappen has an almost innate ability to extract the maximum from the RB20, while Perez, although talented, faces specific challenges in adapting to constant changes in the car and racing conditions. This comparison also leads to intense debates about Perez's ability to remain with Red Bull in the long term. The team needs a second driver who not only supports the points load, but is also close to Verstappen's level of performance. The pressure on Perez is therefore twofold. He needs to prove his individual worth and show that he can be a key piece in the team's strategy. The path to balancing this scale is difficult, but not impossible. Perez has already shown that he can be competitive, but needs to find consistency and confidence to compete side by side with Verstappen. Only then will he be able to dispel doubts about his position in the team and secure a solid future with Red Bull. Sergio Perez's new contract with Red Bull was announced as a 2-year extension, but with a crucial particularity. It is a 1+1 contract. This means that after the first year, the team has the option to decide whether to retain Perez for the second year. This contract structure adds an extra layer of pressure on the driver, who needs to consistently prove his worth to secure his place in the team. Team principal Christian Horner has emphasized the importance of continuity and stability for Red Bull. According to Horner, Perez's contribution has been significant to the team's recent success, and maintaining a stable driver lineup is crucial to sustaining this success. The experience and knowledge Perez brings are valuable, especially in a sport where synergy between driver and team can make the difference between winning and losing. However, the contract structure also reflects a certain caution from the team. The 1+1 option suggests that Red Bull is willing to give Perez a chance, but with the possibility of reassessing his position based on his performance. This puts Perez in a position where he needs to show not only speed and skill, but also consistency and the ability to contribute to the team reliably throughout the season. The stability Horner mentions applies not only to the drivers, but also to the team as a whole. Maintaining an environment where everyone knows what to expect from each other and where changes are not constant is vital for performance. For Perez, this means he needs to fully integrate into the team's dynamics and demonstrate that he can be a stable and reliable part of this structure. For Red Bull, continuity is important, but not at the expense of performance. If Perez can balance these factors, he will not only secure his place in the team, but also contribute to Red Bull's continued success in the championship. The pressure is high, but the opportunity to demonstrate his value is equally great. The future of Sergio Perez at Red Bull is uncertain. The recent contract renewal brought high expectations, but his inconsistent performance in recent races has raised doubts about his ability to maintain the level required by the team. The 1+1 contract structure suggests that Perez needs to prove, race by race, that he deserves his position. Internal pressure and constant comparisons with Max Verstappen add an extra layer of challenge. Perez needs to find a balance between the expected performance and adaptation to the car, especially with the new parts being introduced by Red Bull. Each race becomes an opportunity to show resilience and skill. Despite the challenges, Perez has the talent and experience needed to overcome this difficult phase. If he can make the most of the car updates and improve his consistency, he can solidify his place in the team and contribute significantly to Red Bull's goals. The next stage will be crucial in determining his future, and all eyes will be on him in the upcoming races.